Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna. I'm so glad you're here today. Now today's card is going to be a quick one. We're just using the Whimsical Blooms and the Whimsical Skies 3D embossing folder, and this is part of the collection called Whimsical Village by Vicky P. And I've worked with this on my channel, but I've never just used the blooms for a card, and so today we're going to do that. And we're just going to have three stems with the different blooms on there, and we're going to make a quick card. I've been wanting to do a card with just the blooms. I've used them all as kind of like trees for the houses on my Whimsical Village cards that I've made, and I thought it'd be fun to just use them as they are. Now, I started out with this thinking I was going to create with this, and then I wind up turning it into a wedding card, which was unexpected. I wasn't anticipating doing that, but when I went looking for sentiments, I found something that I liked, and I have a friend who recently just got married, and so I thought I'll just turn this into a wedding card, and then I will have that card made. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm just getting all of the little bits and pieces assembled, just getting our flowers, and they're, just fairly simple. This one has just got three circular die cut pieces that you're just going to line up on there, and it's a fun little floral, and just get it on there and get it pressed down. I'm trying to get them lined up. I'm just using my wax craft tool from Spellbinders to do that. And then we're going to get to assembling our other ones. I had to take breaks throughout the day doing this because I'm actually doing this while the grandkids are here. And so when they're occupied, I was able to do a little bit, and then I had to stop and then go entertain them or whatever, and then come back to it. So I was interrupted multiple times during the creation of this video, but that's okay. I'm just surprised I was able to get it done. Usually I can't. I usually don't record while they're there, but they were playing nicely and quietly, and so I thought I'll leave them be. So I'm just going to layer that one up, and we'll get it added to this stem that has the two leaves, and just add a dot of glue on there, and we're keeping it super, super simple. And so, and most of these, the reason why I have the color selection that I have here is I just use scraps for these floral elements because the dies are small enough. You can just go to your scrap bin and just grab your bits and pieces. And I try to do that as much as I can because I generate a lot of scrap, and I use Spellbinders cardstock, and I don't like to waste it. So that's what I've got here. And so I just, whatever I had, I used and tried to pair it up, and I think it's whimsical. Anyway, so I'm going to lay the centers to these two flowers down, and then our flowers are all together. Then what we'll need to do next is just create our background panel and then bring in our sentiment and our embellishments. So this will pretty much finish off our focal point. So I'm just going to grab just some hammer mail cardstock, and I've got the Whimsical Skies 3D embossing folder. I'm just going to lay it down in there, take it to my die cutting machine, and get it embossed. And then next I'm just going to bring in one of my blending brushes, and just actually two of my blending brushes. I'm going to use a couple colors on this, and we're going to get three colors out of it. I'm going to bring in my blue blending brush and just lay some color lightly down on there, just trying to be really, really soft. And then I will bring in another blending brush and add some additional color to it, and we'll get a mix with the colors. So the next one I'm bringing in is my seedless preserves, and then we'll get a pink, blue, and purple mix with this. And we don't really have any purple on our flowers, but I thought it kind of made like a little interesting look there, and just gives us a little soft area to lay our focal point down on. Now I just went right in the center there. That's all I wanted to do. And I'm going to cut this down to 3 3/4 by 5. We're going to have a big white frame around it from our card base. And that's what I had in mind. I wanted to just do the white panels on top of the white, and then just have that little bit of ink blending in the middle there, just to give a little area for our Whimsical Blooms to lay down on there. And just super simple. And this is a quick and simple fast card because I had 2 more days to fill before we leave for a trip, and so I'm just filling. I just needed something to fill in, and so I'm just using this quick and easy card to fill in. I think this will actually air on my birthday, and so just doing something simple and easy, and I'll be off celebrating my birthday and my daughter's birthday, and we'll be having fun. So I'm just playing around trying to decide how I want to get them laid down on here. And I'm thinking, oh, this will work. So we'll just start picking them up and gluing them down. So I'll just bring in my glue press and throw some glue down on there and we'll get it laid down. Now, our weather is continuing to just be rainy and cold. So I've had a sweatshirt on today and we've been kind of dodging the rain throughout the day. We went out on the golf cart a couple times when it quit raining, and just for entertainment for the boys, just to kind of keep them amused and out of trouble. They like going around. We actually got to see, we were walking the bridge that we always walk, and the boys heard the train, and they wanted to get to the train and see it. And I said, there's no way we can make it, because we had to walk back across the bridge, get on the golf cart, and go, through the park and out to the train. And I was like, we're not going to see it. We're not going to see it. And Westy was just insisting on it. And so we got there, and it was actually stopped at one of the buildings. And we were able to watch it. They got to watch it unload and then back up and shift tracks and everything. So they had a really good time with that. And then they also got to see a truck break down. They got to see a semi truck break down, and then they got to see the tow truck pick it up. And it was interesting. Anyway, so they had a fun day. Gunnar got a good nap. Westy didn't, but he didn't mind riding his scooter out in the rain a little bit. So anyway, they had fun. And so now they're home, and I am getting my voiceovers done. I'm going to get these videos loaded and be on my way. So here I am tying a bow again. I have had a couple of different subscribers instruct me on how to do them, and I have tried to follow the instructions. Now here, today somebody told me another tip, which is using the reverse tweezers as a third hand. And of course, I'd already made this bow before I read that, and I've done that before. I just had forgotten about it. Anyway, so I'm going to fuss with this bow and try and get it tied up. And I did cut out about a minute of me messing with it to try and get it, but eventually I got it, and it looks fairly decent. So we'll just trim it off, and then we've got our panel ready to lay down on our card base. And I wanted to bring in the gold element. Now, I did mention that I went to my stash and I used a wedding sentiment for this. And I was prompted because I had this gold trim on there, and I thought the sentiment that I saw had been foiled with gold foil. And so I thought, well, that'll pair up nicely with the string that we've got on there. And so that's why I chose to go in that direction. Plus, I had just seen the pictures from the wedding, and I thought, oh, I need to get a card. This was a young couple that decided not to have a big wedding. They had a private wedding. So we weren't at the wedding, and I thought I need to get a card made because we need to get a card to them. So anyway, that's what prompted me to grab that cinnamon. It just paired up nicely with that gold twine. And then I had seen the wedding pictures this morning, and so I thought, well, I'm going to get it done. So we'll just get the backer strips pulled off of this foam tape, and we're going to get it laid down on this card base. And I don't know, I had the one foam strip was too long, and it was hanging off the edge of the panel, so I had to trim it off. That's what I was doing off to the side. And we get that laid down on there, and this is where I came back in. Had to take another break with the kids, and then I came back in and grabbed a ring, a promise, a lifetime, and I'm going to get it laid down on there. And this is going to be the card. And I think it turned out really pretty. So I've taken a quick picture so you can check it out. Actually, a couple of them. And if you like, consider hitting that like. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe. I appreciate you watching. Have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.